exciting time. We're here to be creative. We are a ministry that celebrates the creative prophetic arts. And what we're doing here at Legends of the Wind is somewhat unique. We are pioneering a new way of expressing the prophetic. Typically in church settings or in ministry, wherever you go, people may be familiar with prophetic words. And that's kind of like a direct language of talking to a person and being inspired by Holy Spirit with the word of knowledge, the word of wisdom, to bring encouragement and edification to the person that you're speaking to. Typically, that's a strong, direct language. But there's also the prophetic arts. For example, the painting behind me is done by my wife, Alicia. She does prophetic art. She is inspired by Holy Spirit to design and create settings and places and environments for you to basically go to heaven with and experience God in the painting and the art. A prophetic story is kind of like that. It's not a prophetic word, but more of a story that's a narrative. It has characters, it has conflict, it has a problem, it has a journey and a solution, and there's all sorts of mystery that can be had in it. A prophetic story also has symbols and ideas, and it's kind of like dream language or dream interpretation. The ideas of the characters or the symbols in them are similar to interpreting dream interpretation, like what is the function of this character, or what is the function of this action or this place. And that way you can learn to unpack those story symbols. And these stories are prophetically inspired by Holy Spirit. Now, these are not the equal to the Bible, but the thing is the Bible talks about this sort of thing in a certain way. It talks about that in heaven there are books written about us. Does that mean that those books in heaven are literal word for word, day, minute by minute accounts, kind of like an encyclopedia or a telephone book or an almanac? Or are they creative? Are they telling a story, an amazing thing, where God's children are the heroes of his story? And that there's some sort of adventure, some sort of problem, ways of overcoming and having discovery and revelation or healing. And those are the books in heaven. Now, on earth, where we go to find a collection of books is a bookstore or a library. Well, the Bible talks about that there's books in heaven. Well, that's where I go prophetically with my gifting. I go to the library of heaven and get people their story. These stories are meant to encourage, to strengthen, to edify. They're meant to create revelation and aha moments for the person. And even though these prophetic stories are written for someone individually, that doesn't mean that only that story can be benefit to that person. All of us have a universal story that we're walking out, and we can learn from other people's stories together. Hope that makes sense. So thank you so much for at least let me explain those things to you.